Hello everyone. Today I'd like to talk about the seriousness of providing sex education without understanding the concept of sex psychology. The bottom line is that conventional sex education is not true sex education, but sex promotion education. Human sexuality is a comprehensive concept that goes far beyond sexual behavior, and whatever sex you feel is what you feel in your mind. Because the workings of the zest mind and zest psychology can never be recognized in isolation, but only through the mind. Like a core embedded deep inside the earth, sexuality is the energy supply for the mind. And depending on the direction of your thoughts and feelings, sexuality takes on two completely different faces. It can either destroy you and others, or it can lead you and others to happiness. Depending on what standards, memories, ideas, and feelings you have about sexuality in your mind, it will manifest differently. Any sexual behavior is only the result of psychology and zest psychology at work, so there is no psychology in a sexual action itself. What about those who speak as if they knew everything about human sexuality just by analyzing sexual behaviors? And what would happen to people who accept a distorted view of the nature of sex as a result? Here are some facts that are not known to many people. Humans make a distinction between general information and sexual information. Masturbation is closer to sexual perception than sexual expression. A woman's sexual sensations are enhanced and amplified by the workings of her mind, not her body. The zest mind is supposed to work solely on one's own mind, and not many people know how to do that. Not many people know how the zest mind works and why humans need sexual behaviors in the first place. You will need to understand your own mind and how it works, and then teach others about sexuality. The working of zest mind is an unconscious process, and if you want to use it as your own blissful energy, you need to understand its nature accurately and create habits of thought and habits of control in your unconscious mind. This is a process that takes time and effort. I came across a theory that explained why women are passive and men are active when it comes to sex. In a nutshell, it was that women develop sexuality slower than men because men and women observe their genitals differently from an early age due to physical differences, which leads to differences in perception of sexuality. This is called sexual self-observation. Does this sound plausible to you? The concept of sexual self-observation doesn't make sense in the first place. Who on earth perceives their body as being sexual, especially from a young age? It's like saying that a child perceives their body as sexual information. It's one thing to look at your genitals frequently or infrequently, but it's another thing entirely to perceive some information as sexual or not. Also, when we say that women are less sexually developed than men, we are talking about the development of sexual awareness and the development of sexual sensitivity in the body. And in fact, if women intentionally develop sexual awareness and sexual sensitivity, they will automatically develop psychological disorders and live their lives chasing the pleasure of sex. Women can have as much sexual pleasure and satisfaction as they want by controlling and utilizing the workings of their minds and zest minds, even without intentionally developing sexual awareness and sexual sensations in their bodies. The reason women have sexual desire is because their minds are wounded and need to be repaired, not because they open themselves up to sex. We can all be sure of our thoughts and have beliefs, but if you want to be an expert who can influence people in any way, you have to constantly validate your thoughts and try to learn the right concepts. If you blindly spread misinformation for your own benefit, many people will fall apart and many societal problems will become rampant because of it. Everyone should be able to protect themselves from the information that is out there about sexual psychology and sexual behaviors. I urge you to keep in mind that if your values and perceptions about sexuality are distorted, it will never lead you to happiness, but it will lead you to a complete ruin.